story warriors, story weavers, all business people out there who care about the power of your story. Draw your chairs closer. Draw your chairs closer to this fireside. Yes, it's a virtual fireside, and I promise you, in this special edition, in this special episode, we're going to hear from a phenomenal woman. I am talking about a woman who is going higher and higher from healthcare to wealth care. And yes, I believe she is an unsung hero because on this channel, that's what we do. We feature unsung heroes with untold stories. Please help me to welcome onto this stage, this virtual stage, this virtual fireside conversation, the very famous Dr. Naps Dumbe, all the way from
Dallas,
Dallas.
Fort Worth,
Fort Worth. Okay, okay,
Texas,
okay,
the
okay.
best
Dallas.
state in the US.
Yes, and I hear most of the wealthiest people live in Fort Worth. So I'm not surprised why you've gone from healthcare to wealth care. And if anyone is joining us for the first time, let me just say this very quickly. My name is Gideon Pomokwai. I consider myself a story warrior because I help business-minded people to tell unforgettable stories that connect and cultivate business. And I am so privileged to welcome Dr. Naps because she is a phenomenal woman on a phenomenal journey. It's a trailblazing journey connecting the dots around healthcare, wealth care, and a whole lot more. Dr. Naps, what should I, in which box should I put you? Is it in the healthcare box, the wealthcare box, the fitness box, the gastronomic box, or which of these boxes? Because you fill a lot of boxes.
Thank you so much, first of all, Dr. Gideon, for having me on today.
Yes.
I really, really appreciate you. It's an honor to me. I probably don't really see myself the way you see me.
I do see you. I see you moving things here and there. And that's why I call you an unsung hero with an untold story. No questions asked. I do my homework. I've cross-checked. I've asked other people. And they tell me, yes, you are filling some boxes in many, many, many areas. So yes, I really do see you in utmost light.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Um, and for me to hear that really helps me to understand that God has, I understand it, but it underlines that God has a purpose for each one of us. And that purpose was inborn in us. He says, I predestined you for something great. So every one of us has it in us. It's already there. But we sometimes don't realize it, and we just carry on with the mundane and the routine of things, not realizing that we have quite a good bit inside us that we just need to unleash it for the
Wow.
benefit of mankind. So
Wow.
I'm just pretty much walking the story of what God had already said, but for many years I probably didn't even realize it.
Wow. That is so deep. That is so deep. It gets me exciting. It gets me excited because you're saying, even in ordinary mortals like me, there's something bigger, a grain of truth, a grain of greatness that was already planted there at the
Yep,
time of creation. And I just need to look deeper and bring it to the world. Is that what you're saying?
exactly it. And it's written in the Bible. Now, I'm not
Wow.
a preacher, so I don't want to quote a particular Bible phrase and it's wrong, but I think somewhere in Ephesians it says it. And also somewhere in the Psalms, it says it before you were formed in your mother's womb. So, the Bible scholars can go and look it up there, but it's a fact.
Thank you so much. I mean, that's heartwarming for me. And usually this Vuvuzela doesn't come out this early. But this is a Vuvuzela moment. That means it's in celebration of a pearl of wisdom that is so powerful and so irresistible. I can't help but. And that's in honor of that beautiful idea that you just shared about our greatness that lies within, but we don't see it. Whether
Yep.
it's Ephesians, whether it's Psalms, or whichever, whether somebody reads the Bible or not, I'm sure they have a grain of that truth. So you are definitely on a journey and you're helping so many people. And you used to help a lot of people in healthcare. Now, without putting you under so much duress, can you talk about how many years you work in healthcare and in what field you work in healthcare?
I was, I would say, good 25 or so
Mhm.
years.
You don't look 25. What are you
Oh
talking
my God,
about?
that's telling of my age, Dr. Gideon.
You don't look 25. What are you talking about?
But I was in the area of clinical pharmacy
Wow.
for a good 25 years, plus or
Wow.
minus. I don't want to
Hmm.
give you my exact age. Well, I mean,
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
care. I'm proud of my age. Age is
Don't
wisdom.
don't leave it. Wow, that's amazing. And what were you doing? What were you helping people to accomplish?
What, besides the normal, regular things that pharmacists do, which is absolutely important in healthcare,
Mhm.
making sure that patients get the right medication for their conditions, because
Mhm.
that's the make or break of whether
Mhm.
you get well. Your doctor
Mhm.
can diagnose you correctly and all, you go through all the tests and all that gamut. But
Mhm.
if at the end of the day you don't get the right medication for you in particular, you can
Mhm.
either die or you cannot get well. So pharmacist's role in the healthcare is extremely important in that regard. It's like the last step
Mhm.
at the door to get you to your healing process. So I
Mhm.
proudly served in that role for a good 20 years. Uh, so
Yeah, that's quite
I
a
don't
bit.
regret it. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I think I brought a lot of good to humanity during those years.
Wow. As a legal drug dealer, that's what you're
Yeah,
saying.
I like to say
A
that.
licensed drug dealer. Okay. I get it. We all get ill once in a while and we need someone who can help. And if you've never been sick, you have no idea how important these legal drug dealers can be. I know once I was sick. I don't get sick that often, but once I was sick, man, I was so much in need of help. I was so desperate. I was driving from Clarksburg. Is that the name? No, Blacksburg, Virginia, all the way up to Northern Virginia, the DC area. And I was so, so, so sick. I could drive about an hour and pull out by the roadside and sleep and then
Wow.
have to continue again. And the only reason I was even able to drive was because I got some medications that were helping my condition. The day before that was bad. I was doing research, collecting data. The day before that was so bad. So it is people like you that can really put a smile on our faces. The reason I was able to drive was because of the medications that were administered to me. Without that, I don't think I would have been able to make that 4 hour journey. So kudos to everyone who does that. And then you decided, you know what, I've done enough of that, or what happened? And then you decided to go into Wealthcare because I think both are important. But why did you decide to do a switch?
Huh. So it's a long story, Dr. Gideon, and I don't think we have time for that.
Okay, maybe give us just a little synopsis, just a little poquito.
But I think the short of it is just that, literally, drawing from my own professional experiences and understanding
Mhm,
of the financial knowledge gap
mhm,
that often leaves high earning professionals
mhm,
who are dedicated in helping other people
mhm,
and totally forget about themselves,
mhm.
leaves them underprepared for long term wealth planning.
Wow.
So
Hmm.
I saw myself too in that shoes,
Mhm,
where just going in the rhythm and the routine of
mhm,
working and earning, but
mhm.
there's no planning. Okay, of
Wow.
like, okay, what happens when I'm not earning? What
Yes.
next?
Yes.
So for me, that was a very critical gap, which I
Mm,
saw in myself.
mhm,
And once I got some knowledge how to close that gap, I
mhm,
figured there are many others just like me
mm,
who need help with closing that gap. So I'm like, okay, this will
hmm.
be a great place for me to take my entrepreneur skills into
Mm-hmm.
and help.
Wow. I I imagine that it must have been a difficult decision to make because you don't spend 25 years in something just because it's not just for the money. You must have loved it so much. So it was clearly very challenging. What are some of the angst that you experienced in making that tough decision to leave what you went to school for, have a doctorate degree in, practice it for so long, to leave that and walk away and do something else? Take us to that moment or to that time when you were struggling with that decision and then came to a point and say, you know what? The odds of standing still are higher than the odds of going out there and flying with the eagles. Take us to that moment if you don't mind. Just a little bit.
So, Dr. Gideon, we all have TV sets in our houses, okay?
Yes,
Or
ma'am.
most of
Yes.
us do.
Yes, doc.
Regardless, maybe some people watch it on their phones, or nowadays people get TVs on from YouTube, whatever it is.
They're all screenagers, as they call them, right?
Yeah.
Whether they are young or they're old, they're always watching on the screen. And I'm told an average American spends like 4 to 7 hours a day on a screen. I'm like, that's
Uh,
crazy. But anyway, go ahead. You.
but the bottom line is, when you go to watch something, you tune into a particular station.
Mm,
All the stations are talking. They're giving
mhm.
some particular
Knowledge or
news or
mhm.
information
Entertainment.
out there. They're
Mhm.
on air from wherever,
Mhm.
whether it's NBC, CBS, CNN, Fox. I don't know which one your favorite is, but all of them are talking. They're giving
Some
news,
kind of information, yes.
right? But you have to tune into the particular station that you want to listen to. Okay.
Ooh, that's deep.
Yes. So my point here is, when you tune in to say CNN, you're gonna
Yeah,
hear what CNN has to tell you.
the offer, yes.
So you have to choose what radio station you want to tune into. Just because you didn't tune into Fox does not mean that Fox was not talking.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
So I've lived my most of my adult life submitted to the living of the leading of the Holy Spirit.
Mm,
And I have learned to always tune to that station where I can hear God clearly.
mm, mm,
Where I'm not relying on my own intuition, I'm not relying on myself, I'm not relying on the noise of the world. I am purposefully tuning in and say, Lord, speak. I know you're speaking, but I
mhm.
want to hear you. Give
Direct
me the
me.
discernment
Mhm,
so I can make the right turn at
mhm.
every crossroad that I come to.
Wow.
So I had gotten to a point in my career where I was just still. Like,
Mm,
do I go left? Do I go right? And like you said, I was pushing back
mhm,
that still small voice that was telling me it's time to move on.
mm,
It's time to use the gifts that I've been preparing in you
mhm.
somewhere else or in another role.
Wow.
But like you said, with all the education, I'm pushing back. I'm pushing back and I'm pushing back. And where the road met the rubbers, one day I was jogging because I love fitness. That's
Yes,
another part of me.
we're gonna come to that.
It's just me. And I clearly heard the Holy Spirit said, and again, I told my husband this. It was not a town hall meeting. It was a one-on-one.
Okay.
It was a one-on-one.
A one-on-one town hall.
Correct. So
Yeah.
listeners here may or may not understand. But
Mm,
I know what was spoken to me. God said, Naps, you're holding something so tight in your hand. I'm trying to peel your hand open to release so I can put something else that I have planned for you.
mm,
Would you
mhm,
trust me?
mm,
That was the game changer. I had no idea what that meant. I just knew that that thing I was fighting off
mhm,
to leave healthcare, that
mhm.
was him telling me, I said, let go.
Wow.
And yes, strange enough, Dr. Gideon, and I don't advise anybody to do this. But I had a couple of confirmations in my prayer time, like, a few more days.
Mm.
And I just went, to work, and I said,
I'm
I'm
done.
I'm done.
Wow. Wow.
So that it was,
That's bold.
yeah.
That's bold. Yes, especially if you have been committed to a relationship for 25 years, to say, I gotta, I have another idea. That's very, very bold. And I applaud you for that because of that intuition, listening to your own self, listening to a higher power, to your God, your Holy Spirit instructing you, guiding you to go. So let go. I've seen people that, holding on to, say, monkey bars, say, let go. No, 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 I don't want to let go. So you succeeded to let go and you landed onto wealth care.
Yep. I
And
just trusted God that if He was telling me to let go,
yes,
He was taking me to something
yes,
that I didn't have planned for.
yes,
I just trusted. I'm like, okay, I'll keep
yes,
listening, and I know you guide me the right way. And here
yes,
we are.
yes. People die to get into pharmacy school. People die to get into pharmacy. And here you are, you got it, it's highly respected, it's highly, it is very much part and parcel of medicine. And you let go with a lot of high income potential for you and your family, and you go into wealth care. And I know there's need for wealth care. Is there a need for wealth care? Do you think there are many people that see the world the same way that you see? Are there many people that have the same worldview like you? Whether maybe they're first generation immigrants, second generation immigrants, they're just normal people, middle class. Do people really see the need for wealth care as they see the need for health care?
You know, Personally, I would say no because of my background, because
Okay.
I didn't see it
Okay.
before. And the
Yes.
reason I didn't see it, it's because where we grew up, or
Mm-hmm.
our background as African born,
Mm-hmm.
the main stream of education or counsel we get from our parents or whoever our mentors is
Become a
go
doctor.
to school
Mm-hmm.
and have degrees in all the healthcare areas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Doctor, nurse, something that you get a
Good,
doctor name
good, stable job. Yes.
and do something with the health of people. That's
Yeah.
prestigious. That's
Mhm.
a sign that you've succeeded.
Yes.
So obviously, majority of people want to succeed. So they're going to gravitate to that which is
One of those.
considered success.
Yes.
And that way, the wealth care side is overlooked.
Hmm.
And Dr. Gideon, just so I tell you, when I talk about wealth care, I'm not talking about as in being a millionaire or being wealthy, all that.
Okay. Okay.
I'm talking about just structuring your pathway to financial independence
Hmm.
such that you can do things that you truly want to do without money being a limiting factor. And when I say do things, I don't mean necessarily that you can go buy a Gucci purse.
Is it like a lottery or
You you
something?
you could take care of your own health.
Oh,
You
okay.
could you could you could be in a position where you want to take care of your health in the most optimum manner
Yeah.
without money being an issue.
Wow. Is that possible?
Well, of course, very possible.
Hmm.
But you have to think outside the box of you're limited to what the mainstream tells you.
Yes. Yes. Wow. That's deep. I've always thought the problem in America is not that there's lack of information. There's overwhelming information. There's just too much information. So you're saying if you look carefully in this mighty ocean of life called America, there are possible opportunities there to make a good, comfortable living in wealth care without being too stressed out. Can you elaborate a little bit on that? Because there are people that watch this and they'll be like, Gideon, you didn't ask her to explain that. Are you kidding me? So please, can you explain how is that possible? And yeah, is that even feasible?
100% feasible and also 100% not feasible.
Okay.
It
Whether you believe it
all
or you don't believe it.
relies on your mind.
Okay. Okay.
If your mindset doesn't change,
Yeah.
it's 100% not possible.
Hmm.
But once you change your mindset
Mm-hmm.
to be able to look at life in a more holistic manner as opposed to one road,
Mm-hmm.
it is 100% feasible. It just takes a change, a shift in mindset.
Wow.
And that shift in mindset can come about maybe just reading a book, just one book,
Yeah.
maybe just talking to somebody
Mm-hmm.
and
Yes.
being open minded.
Yes.
And it would be like day and night, like, oh, wait a minute. Like the veils just comes falling
Opens.
off and like, huh?
Wow.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Wow.
It's that,
Hmm.
it's like a split thing.
Mm.
And if that split in mindset shift doesn't occur,
Mm-hmm.
and somebody tells you, I don't know, let me think about it, it may be not be possible, that then you know they're still on the side of a one track mind
Mm-hmm. Yes.
and they can never see things that way.
Okay. Are there some career specializations, professional licenses, or just areas that people can master? If because I know a lot of people that are burnt out in healthcare. With all due respect to healthcare, are there some areas in healthcare that people can come to master and use that to make a living for themselves and make a better life for their families?
So I'm going to go back to my definition of wealth
Yes.
as a whole.
Yes, ma'am.
It's basically having the freedom to create the pathway
Mm-hmm.
and to do things that you want to do
Mm-hmm.
at your own definition, whether
Mm-hmm.
it's calling time
Mm-hmm.
to go to some another part of the world to do mission, and
Mm-hmm.
there's nobody holding you back, you have the freedom to do that.
Yeah.
Whether it's being able to give money to a
Mm-hmm.
cause without
Mm-hmm.
looking back at your pocketbook and going, oh, I don't quite have enough. That's what I mean by wealth. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Freedom of time, freedom to
Oh.
be anywhere you want to be,
Mm-hmm.
freedom to spend in courses or things that matter to you, that brings not just joy to you,
Mm-hmm.
but changes other people's lives. So that's really how I look at
And
this
still
whole.
be able to pay your bills.
Well, obviously,
Oh,
that freedom
thank
of
you.
being able to help somebody at any
Okay.
extent or do things is
Yes.
that you're doing it without looking at like what's left for me. You
Wow.
know,
I love
your
that.
bills is not even an issue. That's like done, taken care of. It's more of
Wow. So it's
how do
extra
I
stuff.
make life
Yeah.
better for
Yeah.
other people?
Okay.
Because God did not bring us on this earth to just work, have
Survive.
enough to pay our bills, and die.
Yeah.
He
Ooh.
brought us here. That's why He put gifts in us
Yep.
to do more for His kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
And that His kingdom just means enriching the lives of
People
other
I meet.
people.
Yeah.
So now, wealth care, what I am ingrained in on helping people understand is that to get those three freedoms, you
Mm-hmm.
literally have to have a sense of entrepreneurship,
So financial freedom is one of them.
financial freedom, geographic freedom,
Okay.
and time
Time
freedom.
freedom. Okay. Okay.
Those three freedoms
Ooh.
can only come through entrepreneurship.
Oh.
Dr. Gideon, show me one person that is working for an employer that has those three freedoms.
Hmm. I have never cherished working for someone ever since I tested the freedom of working for myself in 2003 or 4. Call me stupid, call me idiot, call me any name, and I'm happy to take it because once I tested that I could work for myself, make a living. Maybe I don't have a huge savings account, 301k, 401k, but I could take care of myself and still have a little bit of results. From the moment I discovered that anything I've done for somebody else is just a matter of, I just want to be able to participate. But otherwise, I absolutely believe in entrepreneurship and most of the people that we attract to this channel are entrepreneurs, they're business-minded people. They are looking for ways to grow themselves. I have observed that you multitask better than most people that I know. You have your hands in a number of areas. You have a fitness brand, you have a gastronomic brand, you have your Wealthcare brand, and of course, you still run the Dr. Knapp's brand, which is your family. Very well. So, my
I like
question to you is within 24 hours, how do you succeed to structure the time for all these brands? And before we start to pick on each one of them, how do you multitask and manage all these things? I mean, this is not joke. You have a family, you have multiple businesses, serial entrepreneur of sorts, and you still keep this amazing smile. I've never seen you sad, ever,
that.
ever. So what time of the day do you get sad? Late in the night? But first, let me ask a more serious question, which is, how do you manage all these things?
Dr. Gideon, there's no room for a frown on your face. A smile is not for you. A smile is for the next person. You never know what it would do to that person looking at you. They may just be in that moment of their lives where something is down, and just seeing you smile, you light up their world and you give them
Yes.
hope. We're about bringing hope to the next person.
Wow.
So carrying a frown does
Doesn't
nobody
serve nobody.
any good, and it also depresses your soul. So why do you want to depress your soul? Right?
Because
Yeah,
you yourself will end up being very sad.
to your question, I've been asked that a lot of times. Even when I was an employee in the healthcare, working as a manager, 40 something hours a week,
Mhm.
have three very active young men. Oh no, I like to say
Young
four,
boys.
my husband included.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. All right, I didn't hear that.
He knows I always say that.
Okay. Poor
And
man.
still carrying
Strong.
out my
Mhm.
my fitness passion. I always had people, how do you do all of that? And my one answer, which is never changed and is still the same, is the king has 24 hours, the pauper has 24 hours.
Mm. So do I.
So do I.
Okay, okay.
No, the president does not have 25.
Yep.
The man on
Mm.
the street, the homeless man on the street, does not have 23.
Yep.
Every single one of us was blessed by the Almighty with something
24
called
hours.
time, and He gave us finite number, 24 hours,
24.
period.
Take it, use it the way you want to use it.
That's right. Use it the way you want to use it. There you go. So it's
Even
the
alone.
matter of what is important to you.
Mm.
How do you prioritize your time? How do you prioritize your day?
Wow, that's very
And
insightful.
start chipping off things from the highest priority and going down. And wherever your 24 hours run out,
Then you call it a day.
then you call it a day and you
Okay.
start all over the next
All right.
day.
I'm
So
taking
that's
some
pretty
notes. I'm taking some notes here. Start from the
much.
top and go all the way. And whenever 24 clocks,
Yep,
call it a day. Okay.
yep, that's
All right.
right.
I write that, sending a memo to myself.
Yep, and
Uh,
and
do
so
you
that's pretty much, to answer your question. That's pretty much how I've been able to do, or how I run my life.
have you
In
ever
short,
heard about the three scenes?
the three
Uh,
sins or
the
C's.
three scenes,
Uh-huh.
according to me.
Okay.
Procrastination,
Uh-huh.
distractions, and addictions. And I know most humans suffer from that. Are you saying these are all alien things to you? No procrastination, so no time for BS, no addictions, no distractions. I get distracted every once in a while, but
They all
how do you manage
exist.
all of that?
They all exist to everybody. It goes back to priorities.
Mm.
Period. What did you list your priorities down? What's important to you right now? It's I have to share this because I was coaching a team of entrepreneurs yesterday,
Mhm.
and one of the questions someone had, or issues they had, was they get distracted
Yes.
from a certain task they have to do.
Mhm.
So I said, well, to avoid being distracted, and then you start doing other things. You have to write down what you plan to do.
Yes.
Write it down.
I got
Okay.
my
And I
list. I got my list. I got my list right here for
give
today. And
my,
your name is on it. Your name is on it. Have a
my
conversation with Dr. Naps.
my best example is in fitness. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Because I just live it, I eat it, I sleep it. It's in
Yep.
fitness.
Yes.
I plan my workout in the morning and say, I give you an example. Say if it's going to be from 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m.
Yes.
Or even if you're going to do 30 minutes, plan it out. 7 to
Yes.
7:30. I don't care what.
Yeah.
Plan it out, write it down. Okay.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
Fitness, 7 a.m. to 8:30.
Yes.
Not only that, you have to write down specifically what you're going to do, specifically what
Wow.
you're going to do in that workout session.
Mm.
Don't just carry a bag and go to the gym and start wandering around and greeting everybody, getting distracted. Hey, man, what's up? That's the distraction you're talking about. Okay.
Mhm.
Have specifics. Today, we're
Mhm.
working our legs. We're doing 30
Mhm.
minutes of cardio. These
Mhm.
are the exercises. These are the reps. We're doing
Mhm.
boom, boom, boom.
Wow.
Cut the distractions. My phone is turned off. It's
Mm.
in silent mode
Mhm.
because all calls that come to my phone are very important.
Yeah.
Your call is important. The next person's call. There's nobody that reaches out to me that I consider unimportant.
Mm.
So if that important call or text comes in, it's going to be a distraction for me to take it. So best I have to do is it just doesn't come in. It
Mm.
goes all to the message center. So what have I done? I've eliminated the procrastination by actually setting a schedule that it has to be at 7. So I
Mhm.
don't have to procrastinate and say, okay, maybe I'll do it at 5. Then 5 comes, something else happens, and I don't do it. I've
Mm.
eliminated the distractions by making sure that I don't get anything that can take my attention away.
Mhm.
And also, I have specific things that must be accomplished in that session. That's
Mm.
just an example with fitness. You can take that and apply it to everything that's important to you that you want to do.
Hmm. Wow. That is honestly, I did not see that one coming. Schedule. So you stick to your schedule. That's the key.
Yep.
Because when you stick to the schedule, you take out procrastination, you take out distractions.
Yep.
How about addictions?
That
Nothing.
goes in line with priority.
Mhm.
Okay. What are
Wow.
you addicted to? Watching TV?
Some people
Okay.
watch, some people, okay, me
Let's just
personally,
say,
I see a video on YouTube. I mean, this is interesting. Kanye West what? Kanye West that. Then I kind of indulge into that before I realize that it opens up another one, Jamie Foxx. And then before I realize, wait a minute, this is 5 minutes of my time.
try
Why
1 hour
am I
of your
doing
time.
this?
It can
Oh,
carry people to
it would
one
not go up
hour.
to an hour, but occasionally it's gone up to 15, 20 minutes. And okay, so first I come to the table in the morning and first thing I want to do is start with a prayer.
Yeah.
My prayer book is right there. But as I open, because of my curiosity, I want to see what's happening in the news, Before I realize, oh my God, I feel ashamed sometimes. This most important book is been there for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and I've not touched it. And then the worst part, some days I catch myself like 1 hour later, I'm like, this is not right. And this doesn't happen every day, but it always frustrates me. It's like, Gideon, what are your priorities? If something were to blow up right now, an earthquake, a flood, maybe Noah's flood, I'll be caught like still watching Kanye West BS instead of having read the most important book that will empower me throughout my day. And that really bothers me. So I'm retraining myself. And I come to the table, go in, dig in first there, get that word, go on my knees, say a quick prayer, and then I can look at other things. But to my credit, sometimes I keep this phone in the other room when I'm working
There
so
you
that
go.
it doesn't sleep, it doesn't do anything. But I really like that approach of sticking to the schedule and
Yep.
knowing exactly what you intend to do.
Yep.
Okay, now let's talk about the elephant in the room. I know a lot of a lot of people that are busy entrepreneurs and they give this a million excuses they cannot find time for exercise. but you're an exercise aficionado. You've been at it for a long, long time, maybe long before we even got the special privilege from God to meet a few years ago. You've been at this for so long. Tell us, how have you managed to stay on form, on top of form, in all seasons, in all times, with your fitness routines and your fitness business too?
So that I just use that fitness because, like you said, that's been my whole life. Okay. As an example of how to cut off those three, call them sins. And because I've been able to cut out those three sins, the stuff you call the three sins, that's really what that's pretty much the magic right there. Because it keeps you consistent. There's no magic. It's interesting. When I was in Wealthcare or in pharmacy dealing drugs, drug dealer, I had lots of people that would approach me to ask me the magic drug to use.
Wow.
So I want to look like you. I want to be fit. What's the... I said, there's... In their mind, they're thinking, since I'm dealing with drugs, I know something special. I'm like, there's nothing special.
Wow.
There will never be anything special. It's one thing only: consistency, period.
Yes. Wow.
You have to be consistent. And the only way you can be consistent is going back again to avoiding those three things. You have to set priority. Is it a priority for you? It may not be a priority for you. Okay, it may just be something that you want to do when you feel like doing it. Okay, that's fine. But if it's a priority, if you think that you need to make it better in your life, then you would take it up your list of priority. Set, because it's a priority now, it's going to have its place in your schedule. You're going to set it. It's going to be fixed. And it's going to be not just at random. It's going to be specific, what you need to do from day to day. So many of us, we go to school to earn degrees. When you enroll in a university program to earn a degree, you have a coursework set out for you. There is first year, second year, third year, fourth year, exactly what the program will look like, what you have, the courses you have to take.
Yes.
In a semester, there are classes scheduled every day for you to attend.
Yep.
And we religiously do that, attend classes as scheduled from semester to semester, from year to year, because having that degree is a priority, is important.
Yeah.
So if fitness is an important aspect that you want to incorporate in your life, then you're going to do the exact same thing. There's no magic tool to it. There's no pill to it.
Ouch. Now you're punching me in the face.
Nobody swallowed a pill to have a degree.
There you go.
How are you going to swallow a pill to achieve the fitness level that you want, or the health level that you want?
I'm a little guilty on that. Okay, so full disclosure, I started running in 1987, and I've not stopped running since 1987. I've lived in Cameroon, South Africa, Botswana, Singapore, and US. Everywhere I live, I always outrun everyone in my neighborhood. Now, granted, when I lived in Nevada, it was too cold. Sometimes I just give myself an excuse. And when I lived in Oregon too. And of course, with the US food sizes, I've put on a little bit more than I should. But I say that to indicate that if there's one thing that I lack, it's been the consistency. I don't lack the desire or the wish, but I've lacked the consistency. So recently here in Texas, we live 2 doors down. There's a lady who's Filipino American, not the tallest in the world, but boy, does she outrun me.
Wow.
Every day she does 10 miles. I'm very jealous that I finally met my match. And not only that, sometimes when I go jogging with her, I can only do 3-4 miles. I have to hurry back to work. But my point here is that's the same commitment that she espouses. Once she was on this show, she said, Gideon, you cannot stop it. Once you start it, you got to go. Even sometimes you get to the front here and she go back and forth just to make sure that she gets the 10 miles in every day. And she even ran at one point when she had breast cancer. Wow. I cannot believe her strength. But I say that to indicate that what you're saying is a golden rule of success that we are falling short of. But that leads me to my second question. When you see somebody in phenomenal shape, it's not an overnight job. It's not an overnight job. Uh, Americans have this Second Amendment, the right to bear arms. But unfortunately, I know a lot of men and even women too that don't bear their arms. Yet there's a Second Amendment, and I know you're a champion of the Second Amendment. Is there any advice you have for women, for men who are wishing to bear arms, and yet they shy away from, getting into the rigor of bearing arms? I'm talking about the Second Amendment. you and Michelle Obama are pure examples of that. Can you inspire some mother, sister, brother, dad on the powerful Second Amendment?
So, Dr. Gideon, like everything, I'm going to go back again to the power of mindset. You have to shift your mind to be able to intake anything that can change your future. And it goes again to mindset. So the word I'm going to give here may be pushed back by some because they've not shifted yet. So what I want to pre-frame and say, open your mind to receive this. The one and only one solution to whether you're trying to lose weight, whether you're trying to just stay in shape, whether you're trying to get some definition, whether you're trying to prevent yourself from injuries and just maintain good health, the one ingredient that must be included in your menu of whatever you're doing, whether you're doing 30-day diet or you're doing what's all those things they call Dr. Seuss. I don't care what. Do whatever you do, juicing, whatever. This ingredient must be there. And it's called strength training.
Oh, strength training.
Strength training must be incorporated in your routine. Strength training can start with just simply using your own body weight.
Like
Maybe
push-ups.
That's right. Maybe
that used to be my favorite. I could do 150, 200 until I have some upper back surgery, and since then to now I cannot do it. But okay, I'm taking note of that. First one is push-ups. Give us some other examples of strength training using our own body so that nobody says I cannot afford gym membership.
Just sit-ups or squats.
Okay.
Squats, you're using your body weight. And even if you're going walking, you can hold things in your hand and just swing them as you go along. It's strength. You're doing something against resistance. You're pushing against something. But start as easy and simple as possible. However, no child grew up with just milk. No child grew up to an adult with just
eat your carrots, eat some carrots, eat some broccoli.
You gotta progress to soft food.
I have to force myself to eat broccoli, even though it doesn't taste the best.
Right?
Yeah.
You have to progress to soft food. You have to progress to soft meat. You have to progress to the bones.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
crush some bones.
Right. So eventually you will get to a point where you're able to do your strength training with more resistance. More resistance could be rubber bands or dumbbells or actual machine weights at the gym. But there's just so much variety for you to use, like you said, to get the guns. But it's not an overnight thing.
Okay.
And most important, you have to shift your mind that this is accept that this is an important component
of your life,
of your fitness or health routine. Because there's so many fallacies about strength training. Like I've talked to a lot of women, they go, I don't want to look like a man. Okay. That's a fallacy.
You don't, yeah, do you prescribe sex changes? You ask transgender, you're not a transgender doctor. You're a fitness enthusiast and you practice it. So I wonder why they'll be talking about looking like men.
The only time you can look like a man is if you actually take male exogenous hormones
Or
called
go to
testosterone.
Thailand, to do a sex change,
I don't know about that, but
which
those
we
are
don't
the things
recommend.
that,
Yeah.
but just let's
Okay.
just say,
Okay. Okay.
like injecting it, then you're actually putting yourself in a position where your
Mm.
body now start transforming
Mhm.
like male features because you are adding male hormones to your body. But without that, you don't have enough testosterone in your body
To even,
to get the physique of a
okay.
male. Then
Wow.
now the other thing I said, but well, so what? If my guns look like a man, my back is strong,
Yep.
my bones are strong,
Strong. Yep.
I can't easily have hip fracture.
You know the best part? If a dog chases you down the road, at least you can run for yourself. You're gonna sit and call, I need my husband, I need my superhero to come and run for me. No, you can run for yourself. So I always give that example too, that because it allows you to be physically fit to also give some help around the house, or you see somebody crawling, you can give them some help. Wow.
Yeah, it's like
Wow.
my boys want to open a can and it's hard to bring it to me.
Oh,
Like-
oh my God. These guys who are playing tennis and all these strong guys that bring their can to mom. Okay,
Uh-huh.
next time I see them, I'm going to warn them. Guys, cut it out. Don't do that. Don't you do that. She is doing this for her own self, not so much to make you guys pamper you so much. But okay, let's talk about a little bit about Naps cakes because you serve some of the best cakes I've ever had anywhere. And Pam says the only cakes that are edible and that will make you digest them and still stay healthy. Usually she goes to places to see a cake she'll not take, but she says she's taking time to examine what you put in, and she says you make the best cakes in this universe. So tell
Oh.
us, your Naps Cakes business is still running while you're running your fitness business, you're running your Wealthcare business. Tell us about the origin of Naps Cakes and how far it has come, and if somebody wants to order, what should they do?
So I like to say that Naps Cake Shop,
Yes,
okay,
yes.
it's more than business ownership.
Wow.
It's deep.
What do you mean by that?
So God gives us, remember I told you to start with God gives us
Some specifics.
things.
Yes.
We were
Gifts.
born with things, and we a lot of times don't even know what we have in us.
Mm.
And because he's so God and he's so, all that,
Mm-hmm.
he will carry you through different, call it coincidence, even though that's not in my dictionary.
Mm-hmm.
That word for me, I've replaced it with Godcidence.
Mm-hmm. Got it. That's okay. I'm writing that one down. I'll take
He
that
would
one to the
carry
bank.
you through different things or pathways just to be able to open up your mind and open
Mm.
up your awareness to some things that he has in you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really how Naps Cake Shop, Dr. Gideon, I never baked before growing up.
Really? I thought maybe you grew up in a home that
Nope.
everyone around is baking and
Nope.
or maybe a family business that has been handed down from generation to generation.
And I have to always share this to people just to really emphasize that it was a God thing.
Yes.
That
And
go back to say God plants in us
yes.
gifts.
And today you've taken it and you've made it a very successful business, a booming business. Isn't that what it is?
That's what it is. And it all stemmed from, okay, I'm very fitness inclined, I'm health inclined. And one of my biggest philosophy, yeah, I want the audience to hear this.
Mhm.
People have the misconception that to be fit, you have to be like 100% strict on a particular diet or don't do this, don't do that, don't do that. It's about don'ts.
Mhm.
No.
Mm.
Living a healthy, free life is about do's.
Okay.
It's not about don'ts.
Wow.
When you insist on don'ts, you are now in an enslavement mode,
Yep. Yep.
and you're locking yourself up and you're living a life which is not real.
Mm-hmm.
And you get tired and you just get one day and you're like, I need to break free.
Yep.
And you throw all the things that you were doing, whatever, 30 days, 60-day diet. So I've always preached and I've always encouraged people in my fitness coaching that live a life of either 90, 10% or 80, 20%. What does
Mm-hmm.
that mean?
Yep.
That means try to follow your health principles about 80, 90% of the time, eating whole foods,
Mm-hmm.
drinking lots of water, avoiding, all of that. But 10, 20% of the time, give yourself the ability to give yourself what you call a treat.
Yes. Thank you. Thank
Okay?
you. Yes. Yoo-hoo. Thank you.
If you're
Because I mean,
somebody who likes,
otherwise it becomes too regimental.
that's
You
right.
start to feel like, is this worth it?
Exactly. If you're somebody
Thank
that
you.
likes a glass of wine,
Yeah.
by all means, 10 to 20% of time, give yourself a glass of wine. I
Why
don't
not?
drink
Thank you.
alcohol,
Yeah.
but I don't say it's bad.
Yeah.
It's just not my thing. Okay.
Yeah.
If you're somebody that likes sweets, okay, give yourself 10 to 20% of the time, have a chocolate bar.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You like cakes, okay, have some cakes. Okay. But you do all those things also in moderation. So knowing that, okay, my family, my kids didn't really like a lot of sugar. They just didn't like it. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
sugar, a lot of additives.
A lot of parents would wish to be you because
They absolutely didn't like it. So when we bought
wow.
store brand cakes, it wasn't attractive to them. So I'm like, okay, well, but I need to give them treats too. They need to be able to eat cake.
Yeah,
So I'm like, I'm going to
boys
figure
love
out
cakes.
this cake thing.
Yeah.
That's where the baking started, and I just started putting things together. And I know
Mm,
it wasn't from me, and I know it was just God bringing out that gift in me. But it
wow.
blossomed over 20 years, believe me,
Wow.
to an
Wow.
unbelievable formula
Yes.
with a recipe that everybody that eats it just says, this is different.
Begging and asking for
I'm just stating what people say. Okay.
that's right. Yeah.
This is
I mean,
different.
I've eaten it. I've enjoyed it. Yes. And I'm not a cake eater per se. I'm so skittish about even trying a cake, but oof,
So my
I
girlfriend said, you know what? You have a gift in you, but you're not seeing it. The
mhm.
only way for you to bring that to the world, for people to see it, is actually take it into the marketplace.
Yes, I
Which
believe
is
that.
why I say it's not like owning a business. It's
Mhm.
more, entrepreneurship really means that expanding your talents
Mhm.
with whatever you have in a broader sense of the world. So it's not just inside a particular, you're not
Mhm.
just using your talents in one location, one place, one venue. It's
Mhm.
how can you make yourself or your giftings
Mhm.
more, or spread it out to the world.
Mhm.
That's where the cake shop came from. Like, okay, I can put it out there on the marketplace,
Mhm.
and people that I don't even know can have the opportunity to
To see.
taste
There you
this
go.
amazing gift
There you
that
go.
God has given me. And
Yes.
behold, it's, yes, it has gone
Wow.
far and wide all across the 50 states of the 50
No
United
kidding.
States.
You're shipping to all kinds, Alaska, all these places.
Exactly. I'm
No
shipping to
kidding.
people that I
Have never met.
only through word of mouth
Yes.
or through somebody buying it as a gift for them, and they taste it, they go, wow, I
Wow.
need more of this.
Wow.
It can only be a God thing, Dr. Gideon.
Yes. That is amazing. Man, that is so much insight packed in that. So tell me, if someone has a skill and they're listening to themselves, they're wondering, is this God or is it just some noise that is ringing in my ears about pursuing that or using that to manifest their God-given talent to the world? What are the top two or three things you can suggest for an emerging entrepreneur to embrace so as to be successful quickly, so that they don't burn out, they don't run out of, their reserves? What
That's a
advice?
great question, because the cake shop was one of the things that gave me a feel of, wow, I can n- I just don't have to be limited
Mhm.
with a degree that I had in
Yes.
pharmacy to be in one box.
There you go.
God has gifted me with so many things. And while I didn't share this with you, but throughout my healthcare profession,
Mhm.
majority of what I did was teaching people.
Mm.
Majority of my that I found joy in, and I was being utilized with the different companies I work for, was
Mhm.
to just to pass on knowledge, how
Okay.
to practice,
An
how to take
educator.
different concepts and strategies and apply them. So
Mm.
it started becoming apparent to me that another gifting that God has given me is just to teach,
Mhm.
is to
Mhm.
take complex concepts and
Yep.
break it down
In a
into
way that
very easy,
easy,
actionable steps, accessible to everyone.
digestible steps that people enjoy.
Digestible steps indeed.
Love that.
So so now I got that calling to, like, okay, you have started something with your cake shop, and I was enjoying that feeling of, oh, I can spread my gift of baking around.
Mhm.
But then there's, like you said, there's a limitation to every kind of journey you want to
Mhm.
take when it comes to entrepreneurship.
Yes.
How many of me can I have in all 50 United States to bake?
That's right.
Okay, it's just one me. Okay.
Yes.
And how long is it going to take for me to multiply
So,
many of me?
yes.
Don't get me wrong. Chick-fil-A started with one chicken
Yep.
sandwich store.
Yep.
McDonald's started with one sandwich store.
Mhm.
Nab's Cake Shop may just be in Texas right now and shipping, but there are going to be so many stores around the 50 United States where you can just walk in
Mm.
and pick up a freshly baked hot Nab's Cake Shop. But that's the journey of entrepreneurship. It takes time.
Mhm.
So in the meantime, what other sphere can I engage in using
Mhm.
my gifts
Yes.
that can make this journey a little faster?
Yep.
Not microwave, by the way, but a
Okay.
little
Yes.
easier, a little faster. And that's where the wealth care came in place. Like,
Okay.
okay, in the wealth care environment, I can actually bring my teaching gifts
Mm.
where I can teach others about the essential financial concept and strategies to help families
Mm.
with all over
Mhm.
the United States.
Yep. Yep.
And then now it's not just me doing the work or being the sole person to teach. I have many people around doing the same thing. And that way we're all together
Mm.
building
A team.
a team.
Wow.
And we are stretching our tentacles,
Mhm.
helping more people, and also growing our entrepreneurial journey faster and bigger.
Wow. That
So,
is.
to answer your question, if you're looking, you have a skill, don't minimize the skill, but you have to also think in a bigger sphere.
Yeah.
What can assist my skill so I can
Mhm.
take it to many more places?
Mm. Very interesting. Wow. So, to that young guy who is studying, you say multiply it. That's one thing that I heard.
Yes,
Expand it. What else?
distribute it.
Distribute it through other channels.
That's right.
Okay. And eat some of it yourself too. Give yourself permission. 90, 90, 10, or is it 10, 80, 20? Enjoy some of it too. Okay. I mean that is so it's so spot on, because not only can you serve your family with that, your boys enjoy it. Now other people are enjoying it. We become fans of that, and it begins to multiply and multiply. So, which one takes more time now? Is it Naps Kicks Shop? Is it Naps Fit, which is fitness, or is it Naps Wealthcare? You're running
Well,
an empire.
well, I would say this again. You're 24 hours in a day.
Yep. Yep.
And
Distribute
you
it as
just
you want.
gotta prioritize your activities of every area
Okay.
accordingly each day.
Okay.
So that way nothing drops off,
Yeah.
everything is still carrying on,
Yeah.
and you're giving it its due diligence. Now, I want to go back to what you just said previously, because I think this is really key for the audience. And it's from Genesis 1, I think it's Genesis 1, 2022. Okay. I already pre-warned you. I'm not a Bible scholar, so
Not a pastor.
if I didn't
Yeah.
get it right,